G'day, truth seekers. It's the Aussie Thunder from Down Under, the Red Pill Christian Warrior. If you would like to learn how to do your own YouTube videos, then you also need to learn how to be a content creator. Now, if you would like to know how to be a content creator and how to get some free training, just watch this video to the end and I'll show you how. In the meantime, here's some Alex Jones.
Mike Pence, would you like to say something?
Thank you, Mr. President, and to all our honored guests. Today's action sends a clear message that this president and our entire administration are determined to put American jobs and American workers first. The action the president will take today under Section 301 also makes it clear that economic surrender is over.
Yes!
The United States of America is taking targeted and focused action to protect not only American jobs, but America's technology, which will power and drive an innovation economy for decades to come. It is just one more step of a promise made and a promise kept by President Trump.
Ladies and gentlemen, our borders, our sovereignty, our stock market, our jobs, our industry, our families, our military, everything Trump is doing his dead level best from a classic middle-of-the-road Americana, Eisenhower, JFK style administration. You're just getting classic Americana. And the globalists that had sold this country out and thought they were God are flipping out right now. Trump to slap China with $50 billion in tariffs over intellectual property theft. By the way, it's estimated with our $300, $400 billion a year trade deficit with China that it's even in excess of that per year. So this is going back decades. It should be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times that. Unbelievable. Trump taking action in our own media that sold us out, bitching and complaining and saying he's going to destroy the economy. He's going to destroy our industry. We didn't have anything left. It's all pouring back in now. Doesn't mean they're not going to strike back. Doesn't mean it might not be too late. But they were involved in deindustrialization, post-industrial era, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. It's a plan. It's public. Trump has read it. Trump knew all this before I was ever on air. Trump's dad was a huge donor to John Birch Society. His lawyer, Roy Cohn, was the head of the House and the Senate. So he ran both of them. Un-American activities. He was McCarthy. Trump's best friend was McCarthy's power behind the throne. What does that tell you? The globalists are crapping themselves. He's the opposite of a Russian agent. That's why they're so scared. Everything he does is for the country. Everything he does is the classic default of what you do. It is just mind-blowing right now. We have a clip of the president speaking about this. Go ahead and roll it. Go ahead and roll it.
Gone. 6 million jobs at least gone. And now they're starting to come back. You see what's happening with Chrysler, with Foxconn, with so many other companies wanting to come back into the United States. But we have one particular problem, and I view them as a friend. I have tremendous respect for President Xi. We have a great relationship. They're helping us a lot in North Korea, and that's China. But we have a trade deficit, depending on the way you calculate, of $504 billion. Now, some people would say it's really $375 billion. Many different ways of looking at it, but any way you look at it, it is the largest deficit of any country in the history of our world. It's out of control. We have a tremendous intellectual property theft situation going on, which likewise is hundreds of billions of dollars. And that's on a yearly basis. I've spoken to the president. I've spoken to representatives of China. We've been dealing with it very seriously. As you know, we're renegotiating NAFTA. We'll see how that turns out. Many countries are calling to negotiate better trade deals because they don't want to have to pay the steel and aluminum tariffs. So we are negotiating with various countries.
By the way, this is live,
Mr. Lighthizer.
but we backed it up on the DVR. He's still live.
We are just starting a negotiation with the European Union because they've really shut out our country to a large extent. They have barriers that they can trade with us, but we can't trade with them.
Their tariffs 4 times bigger than ours.
Very high tariffs. We don't. It's just not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair.
NAFTA has been a very bad deal for the United States, but we'll make it better, or we'll have to do something else. The deal we have with South Korea is a very one-sided deal. It's a deal that has to be changed. So we have a lot of things happening, but in particular with China, we're going to be doing a Section 301 trade action. It could be about $60 billion, but that's really just a fraction of what we're talking about.
Exactly.
I've been speaking with the highest Chinese representatives, including the president, and I've asked them to reduce the trade deficit immediately by $100 billion. It's a lot. So that would be anywhere from 25%, depending on the way you figure,
It's $400 billion a year.
to maybe something even more than that. But we have to do that.
Yeah.
The word that I want to use is reciprocal. When they charge 25% for a car to go in, and we charge 2% for their car to come into the United States, that's not good.
Yeah, that's right. It's over, scum.
That's how China rebuilt itself. The tremendous money that we've paid since the founding of the World Trade Organization, which has actually been a disaster for us. It's been very unfair to us.
By the way, Lloyd
The
Blankfein made a
arbitrations are
joke
very
about this
unfair.
6 months ago. He's out on his ass now.
It's been very unfair.
Like that bitch?
And knowingly, we always have a minority, and it's not fair. So we're talking to World Trade, we're talking to NAFTA, we're talking to China, we're talking
Yeah,
to
this hate America
European
crap
Union.
is over, bitches.
And I will say every single one of them wants to negotiate. And I believe that in many cases, maybe all cases, we'll end up negotiating a deal. So we've spoken to China, and we're in the midst of a very large negotiation. We'll see where it takes us. But in the meantime, we're sending a Section 301 action. I'll be signing it right here, right now. I'd like to ask Bob Lighthizer to say a few words about the 301 and where we are in that negotiation.
Trump is an answer to prayers.
And we're doing things for this country
CNBC
that
says
should
it's
have
a
been
50.
done
Trump says it's a 60.
for many, many years. We've had this abuse by many other countries and groups of countries that were put together in order to take advantage of the United States.
That's
And
right.
We don't want that to happen. We're not going to let that happen. It's probably one of the reasons I was elected, maybe one of the main reasons.
Wow.
But we're not going to let that happen.
Wow.
We have right now an $800 billion trade deficit with the world. So think of that. So let's say we have 500 to 375, but let's say we have 500 with China, but we have 800 total with the world. That would mean that China is more than half.
All right, let's stop right there. Again, he's live right now. We backed up a few minutes. We're going to come back from break and play more. I have a bunch of guests coming on about them banning guns on YouTube for the general public, but not for Hollywood and the video game companies. So that's coming up. But this is huge. I mean, this is everything. And they think you're dumb. They go, "Oh, we have fair trade. They don't have tariffs on us." China has, as you heard, 20-something%. We got 2%. Same thing with Europe. It's all a sick joke. It's all the only country that's actually been more fair is the one we used to get mad at is Japan. They've got fair deals. They built factories here. They're responding. South Korea, not so much. China's really bad. EU's horrible. No more. No more. And this is huge. And that's why they're pissed, because this deal was designed to destroy the United States, and it's over. And in the mind of Hillary, she thinks this is something they can just do forever. Well, no, it's not. So, briefly, just like America needs funding and Trump is trying to bring the jobs back and trying to cut the taxes and everything else that's happened, I need support. They know we're a critical operation defending the president and the restoration of the republic. The enemy is after us, but we will win if you get off the couch, if you get off the bench. And many of you have, and I salute you, but you need to go to InfoWarsStore.com on our big, secure, high-tech shopping cart, and you need to look at all the books, the videos, the T-shirts, the supplements, the high-quality coffee, all of it, and shop with InfoWars, and we will, I give you this pledge, we will go on to the end no matter what they do to me, no matter how they attack us, because the stuff they've been doing lately is nothing compared to what they've done to my family. I am committed 1,000%. These attacks have only galvanized me to a level never before. I am on fire. I can feel the spirit. I know you can as well. And the president and I have talked about that spirit. You are the fires of liberty. You are the light in the dark of the night. You are victory. But I need to be flooded with capital to sue these people and launch new operations and satellites, because now is the time. Radio and TV stations across the country are now turning us on. People are spreading the articles and videos everywhere. If the globalists want a fight, I don't know how it's going to end, but they now know they've got one. Hour 2, spread the links. Well, the president is announcing the counter of the communist Chinese trade deficit we have of 400 to 500 billion a year, a 50 to 60 billion dollar tariff starting immediately. Let's go back to the president who is still live. We froze it when we went to break, but he's live. This is a few minutes ago. Here it is.
Or a mirror tax. Just use the word reciprocal. If they charge us, we charge them the same thing. That's the way it's got to be. That's not the way it is. For many, many years, for many decades, it has not been that way. And I will say the people we're negotiating with, smilingly, they really agree with us. I really believe they cannot believe they've gotten away with this for so long. I'll talk to Prime Minister Abe of Japan and others, great guy, friend of mine, and there'll be a little smile on their face. And the smile is, I can't believe we've been able to take advantage of the United States for so long. So those days are over. Ambassador Lighthizer, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. First of all, for those of you who don't know, Section 301 is a statute that gives substantial power or authority to the president to correct actions in certain circumstances where there's unfair acts, policies, or practices by our trading partners. In this case, the area
Trump's the real deal, everybody.
Technology is probably
That's why
the
they're
most
so scared.
important part of our economy. There's 44 million people who work in high technology areas. No country has as much technology-intensive industry as the United States, and technology is really the backbone of the future of the American economy. Given these problems, the president asked USTR to conduct a study. We conducted a thorough study. We had hearings. We reviewed tens of thousands of pages of documents. We talked to many, many business people.
And we found we're about to lose our dominance if we don't move now.
Concluded that, in fact, China does have a policy of forced technology transfer, of requiring licensing at less than economic value, at state capitalism, wherein they go in and buy technology in the United States in non-economic ways, and then finally of cyber theft. The result of this has been that the president has analyzed it. We have a 200-page study which we'll put out, and he has concluded that we should put in place tariffs on appropriate products. We can explain later how we concluded what products they are, that we would put investment restrictions on China with respect to high technology, and that we'll file a WTO case, because one of the actions here does involve a WTO violation. This is an extremely important action.
Because Apple just announced 3 weeks ago they're moving to communist China and giving them all the keys, most of which were developed by taxpayer money at DARPA. So you have to understand, this is treason, ladies and gentlemen, by Apple. Continue.
for the future of the country, really across industries. And I would really like to thank you very much, Mr. President, for giving me the opportunity to work on it.
Thank you very much, Ben.
Unbelievable.
Secretary Ross.
Intellectual property rights are our future, and it's no accident that in June of this year, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office will issue its 10 millionth patent. 10 million patents. There's no country in the history of the world that remotely...
Hit pause, we gotta go to break.
That.
Notice all they're doing is talking the country up, and all they're doing is saying, you're not gonna have giant tariffs on us, and then let's not have them on you. And that's why the media beats you over the head that we'll die. The economy will implode if you do this. That's why they do it over and over again. Because this is how they brought the country down and how they parlayed all our wealth and all our industry into this whole global order. But here we are, the American people, InfoWars, Trump, you, everybody, together right at that magic point when their world government was launching and we were supposed to fall to take it all away from them. Almost like it was planned. That's right, my friends. You will be defeated, globalists. We have 3 guests joining us dealing with the war on the Second Amendment that has entered the most vicious phase since we fought for the right starting in 1776. And it's an attack on the First Amendment, which is also the greatest ever seen. This is the assault. This is the war. This is the battle. Our republic had been, for at least 50 years, under a globalist system, setting up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% tariffs in Europe, in Asia, in Latin America, to not allow U.S. manufacturing and U.S. jobs so that we could be domesticated, so we could have a false economy, a service economy, a globalist economy. So these foreign corporations that had all that undue power, now 800 to 900 billion a year trade deficit, and use that money to come in and buy us up. They were going to end all the free speech when Hillary got in. They were going to further implode the economy. It was all being announced. Patriots in our government, the American people and others, all came together to put Trump in, and he has been on an absolute kamikaze mission. No matter what they do to his family, no matter what they do to him, no matter how many hundreds of millions and billions he loses, he is dedicated. He made the decision 3.5 years ago in Scotland. He had decided not to do it because it would hurt his family so bad. And his wife came to him. And I've talked to folks that I knew about this before it was ever in Politico. And she said, you've got to do it. They're too evil. We're all ready. No matter how bad it gets, we're going to stand behind you. Then they said he didn't really run and he wasn't really real and he wouldn't announce re-election, that he was running again. It's all lies, folks. Just like they tell you I'm not real or Trump's not real. You judge a tree by its fruits. All InfoWars delivers is accuracy. All we deliver is prosperity and victory. It's why they hate us. And I am incredibly honored to be this persecuted. It actually makes me stronger. I never enjoyed it, but I'm kind of getting to Trump level a little bit now where it's actually empowering me. Instead of just dealing with it, I'm now going with it and trusting God completely, and I'm entering the Trump dimension. It's here, folks. It's happening. This is the big decision of all our ancestors, of us, of our future children, whether we're going to have worldwide authoritarianism and nightmares that make communism and Nazism and fascism and oligarchy look like a cakewalk. We can intellectually, we can spiritually, we can culturally pick up what's going on. We can see it. And we can see the attack on the First Amendment, the Second Amendment. We can see it all. And we know the choice we've got. And that's why they're trying to intimidate and shut us down everywhere. But we just all need to get active in every way, person to person, company to company, interfacing with God, praying every night, praying every morning for justice. You're not going to find it in these sold-out churches where they hired cowards that just wanted money. You're going to have to find God at 2 a.m. on your knees. But it's here. And China, with its $400 to $500 billion a year trade deficit, depending on how you look at it. So you notice right before Trump went live, I said it's $400 to $500 billion, depending on how you look at it. they've got 20% tariffs on us, 15% tariffs, 30% tariffs. It's totally unfair. We need reciprocal. He comes out and gives that exact speech. We didn't line up talking points. The media keeps thinking Jones and Trump. Jones will be speaking while Trump's speaking. It's the exact same words. It's the truth. The truth. You don't have to get in a committee to find out what it is. It's there. And these globalists want to break America because we've got spirit. And they're slave masters. Well, I got news for them. We've only begun to fight. And it's going to be rough. But we're going to make it out of this. And we're going to use their own systems against them. And I'm going to explain that coming up. There's only a few minutes left. The speech is over now. He signed the action on China. He says 60 billion. The news is saying it's 50 billion. But I think the president probably knows right because he's got the document. Trump imposes 60 billion in tariffs on Chinese imports, accusing Beijing of intellectual property theft. Just like accusing a bear of taking a dump in the woods. Or Marilyn Monroe or Prime being a good-looking woman. Or fish in the sea. Birds in the sky. Mommy loves her baby. And the communist Chinese are dirty and nasty scumbags. Perched on top of their poor, hard-working people. Used as slaves for the globalists to leverage out the world and take over. Well, America woke up before you cut our heart out and before you cut our brain out. We were on the operating table, and we're still badly damaged and stumbling around. You've got us all on your government drugs and your Prozac and all your crap, but the spirit's rising, and just like day follows night, the sun is going to be rising. Finish this clip, go to break, and then get into the gun situation. Here it is.
We've taken deal more or less with the present. This action on intellectual property rights deals with the future. So we're trying to solve both today's problem and problems that otherwise will be forthcoming. That's why these actions are so important and so important in unison with each other. We will end up negotiating these things rather than fighting over them, in my view.
Mike Pence would like to say something.
Thank you, Mr. President, and to all our honored guests. Today's action sends a clear message that this president and our entire administration are determined to put American jobs and American workers first. The action the president will take today under Section 301 also makes it clear that economic surrender is over.
Yes.
The United States of America is taking targeted and focused action to protect not only American jobs, but America's technology, which will power and drive an innovation economy for decades to come. It is just one more step of a promise made and a promise kept by President Trump.
There you go.
So we'll sign right now. I just want to let everybody know, just for a second time, that we are in the midst of very major and very positive negotiations. Positive for the United States and actually very positive for other countries also.
Yeah, because hit pause.
We have some of our great
Back it
business
up.
leaders.
China won't have a market soon. They were about to hit the austerity cliff where they were going to implode everything and the globalists take over with a worldwide reorganization. They were going to call it a planetary Marshall Plan. That's classified, by the way. A worldwide global Marshall Plan with Soros and others and Davos at the top. That's not happening now. Now, will this be a perfect transition? No, but at least we're not getting chained up and thrown in some political basement. At least we're fighting back. You understand? I don't know how this is going to end, but you want to fight, you're going to get one. Here it is.
And leaders, period, right behind me. I may ask Marilyn Lockheed, the leading woman's business executive in this country, according to many. And we buy billions and billions of dollars worth of that beautiful F-35. It's stealth. You cannot see it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Better be correct, right?
Absolutely.
Marilyn, please say a few words.
That plane's the
Well,
front
thank you,
for
Mr.
space
President.
weapons.
I would just say that this is a very important moment for our country. in that we are addressing what is a critical area for the aerospace and defense industry, and that is protecting our intellectual property. As has been expressed, that is a threat to us if we have that stolen from our companies, because that is the lifeblood of our companies. And so we very much welcome this action on the part of the Trump administration and the President of the United States. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
They thought they were stealing the plane. They didn't know it was satellite weapons. Who the plane was a front for? I think the Chinese do know that, though. And here he is, signing it.
This is the first of many.
The first of many.
This is number one, but this is the first of many.
The promise keeper, delivering. No more one-way street. No more screwing America over. That's why they're moving against us, folks, because we are winning. Stay with us. There it is.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
I'm a nasty woman.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
We are transferring power from Washington, D.C. and giving it back to you, the people. Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo.
This is the heart of 1776.
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Huge nationwide protests erupted once again on President Donald Trump's second weekend in office.
When you open your heart to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice. When America is united, America is totally unstoppable.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States.
And most importantly, we will be protected by God.
From the front lines of the info war, it's Alex Jones.
Oh my goodness, poor white people, please, oh my, stop.
Censorship so far only because of you spreading the links, spreading the articles, subscribing, clicking the notification buttons, and getting the articles and videos out. But they are intensifying their censorship, so now it's more important than ever to ensure we keep the First Amendment alive and well right here in America and free speech worldwide. So from Australia to countries in Africa, to Europe, to Mexico, to right here in the USA, I salute you all for taking action and defending free speech. We will prevail.
Alex, I salute you too. Yes, we will prevail. Yes, we are winning the info war. And if you would like to help Alex fight the info war and become a content creator, all you need to do is click on the link below and you can have free training. That's right, free training provided by Operation Sakar, formerly known as Operational How. Now before you go, I need you to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, but do yourself a favor and click on that link. Our next boot camp starts in April, and if you want to help Alex Jones, Operation Sakar, and all the other truth seekers fight the information war, then click on that link below. But hey, we're winning. How awesome is that? We are winning. God bless.